and welcome to the There's a Gleam podcast. I am Steve Hemrich, and I'm with my co-host John Ryder. John, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. We want to welcome you to our first season one, episode one premiere of There's a Gleam podcast. We're excited to do this. Give a little bit of background about us. My name's Steve Hemrich, born and raised here in Cleveland area. Browns fan since the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Started with the Cardiac Kids era, and been a season ticket holder now with John for what, since 2007, I think, John?
2007.
So enough about me. Nobody wants to hear all my boring personal stuff, but John, what about you?
I've been a Browns fan for as long as you have too. My heart was ripped out in 1981 as a little kid, and it continues to get ripped out every freaking week.
We're going to try and stay positive.
We are, because there is a gleam.
There is a gleam.
As Coach Marty said, there's a gleam. Let's go get it.
Right? Interesting you say that. So I was looking that up before, and I kind of wondered too, like, hey, there's a gleam. For those that know and are, old enough to remember or have ever seen it, that's a famous speech that Marty Schottenheimer given during one of the games.
It's a playoff game against Denver, I believe, the AFC Championship.
Was it that one?
I think it was. I think it may have been the drive game.
Okay. I remember saying, there's a gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam. And I read something somewhere a while back where it was, I think it was Bob Golick. And he always wondered what that exactly meant. He said that, I think he said they all assumed that the gleam was the shine off the Super Bowl trophy or something like that. But it was something that just said something like they're working. What was it? They're working together. There's something they're waiting at the end of this, and that they're just trying to drive for or something like that. That gleam, and so I thought that was kind of interesting because I think some of the players were like, "What is the gleam?" And then I read something just recently, as a matter of fact. It was through The Athletic. Joe Pesnansky, I think his name was. This was back in like 2021 or 2023, somewhere around there. He interviewed Marty before he died, and he had asked Marty if he thought he'd ever gotten that gleam. And you know what he said, Johnny?
What did he say?
He said, "Nah, you don't ever get the gleam, you chase it." So there you go.
True. That's true. You chase that gleam.
Well, we've been chasing it for
our lives,
30 some odd 40 years, so I guess
we're gonna get it. We'll get that gleam
eventually. So tell you a little bit about the show. Yes, we're another Browns podcast. We're going to be the same as everybody else. Hopefully not. We'll probably be a little different. And I like to say, give our show a try. If you don't like it, give it another week. Try it again. And if you don't like the following, keep trying. Eventually, you might like us. But I also want to take this time, too, to thank John Suchan over at the Fanatical Elves and the whole gang over there for giving a couple guys like us a chance and an opportunity to have some fun, talk about something we love. And so thank you, John, Fanatical Elves, and also the Fans First Sports Network. Looking forward to just having some fun. So our plan was to do this right before the opening of the season, and we got a little derailed. Life gets in the way, jobs, family, and stuff. So we got delayed, and we thought, okay, we'll do it after the first week. Great. You can talk about the first game, gives us more. Again, delayed, so we're a little behind. So we're getting kind of, yeah. So we figure what we'll do a quick little recap. We're not going to really go into we all know what happened these first three games, but Johnny, recap game one.
Game one, it was there for the taking. If we weren't for the missed extra point and field goal, we win the game. So that was the disheartening part about that. I thought we really locked down the Bengals, and same thing again. The defense against the Ravens played really well. I think it just caught up to them. Yeah. The blunders again just caught up to the defense, but the defense is playing great, and I think there's something there that we've got going that's really strong. I think that until we get the offense right, this defense could carry us for a little bit.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. I mean, that first game, I mean, who could have imagined it came down to kicking again, and not only an extra point but a field goal, both very easy, makeable kicks, and we just couldn't do it. I mean, that's a game we should have won. We've seen that too many times. Hopkins, I can't understand for the life of me. Hopkins, I remember the first year we got him, he was phenomenal. One of the knocks against him was he didn't have that strong of a leg, like over 50, and he was, I think, perfect that year, something crazy. He was lights out, couldn't miss the first year, and then I don't know what happened last year.
I don't know. It just the wheels came off.
He got the shanks.
Yeah, maybe it's just mental as a kicker.
So
I don't know.
who knows? The Schmidt, he's young. I guess you got to give him an
I
opportunity.
say you go with them. You got to go. There might be some growing pains, but you really don't know what you have until you keep them out there. Same thing with a young quarterback, a young player in general. You just got to keep them out there, and you can't give up on them right away.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the stats. I didn't have any for this, but what was it? If I remember correctly, wasn't it something like Cincy? We held them defensively to go back to what you were saying. We held them to like I think it was wasn't it like 7 total yards in the second
Oh yeah,
quarter or something
yeah.
ridiculous? Okay,
The defense played lights out.
like you said, defense looks like there's something there. And who would have thought that too? Going into the draft this year, I remember I think everybody's thinking, we need offense. Our offense has been terrible. And what did the Browns do?
The defense.
First, they made the big trade to move back, but their first 2 picks are defensive players. They went Mason Graham at the 5th pick, and then followed back with the first pick, the linebacker Schlesinger.
Yeah, Schlesinger.
And, I mean, hopefully their home run hits. The early reports on Schlesinger I heard around camp and around Berea and stuff is a lot of people have a feeling he's kind of given that vibe of a young Clay Matthews.
Well, he'll be able to see Clay Matthews this weekend when they're honor the the 85 team. They're going to be honoring this Sunday. So maybe Schlesinger can talk to Clay.
Right? I did see that. It was Matthews' daughter.
Yeah.
Was it Jennifer? I saw her post something. So that's kind of cool. Being season ticket holders, we'll be there for that. So always fun to go back and relive our glory days, I guess. So, that'll be fun. And then, again, the Baltimore game is what it is. Didn't start off too bad. What was it, 10-3 for a while, and then the floodgates kind of opened up.
And that's what you let the Ravens do that to you. You just give them an inch, and they take that yard, and you can't make those mistakes against, especially a team like the Ravens.
No. And again, statistics, I don't have any in front of me, but I remember seeing, there were some mind-blowing stats. In fact, our defense has been great. It's been, not that much of a surprise. I think most people going into it, thought, hey, what's going to be one of our strengths? The defense.
Mm-hmm.
I will say probably the most disappointing things for these first 2 games is a lack of a running game. I thought the offensive line was going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Back to the old scheme and stuff. Everybody healthy. What do you think? They just don't look good right now.
Yeah, not right now, but the Ravens are a tough defense. The Bengals really, their line is okay, but I think it's just getting Junkins going. The first week kind of tough because you had Sampson and Ford only. With Junkins looked a lot quicker. He got the corner a couple times, so I think things will look up. But I do think that as we go through the year and into next year, we've got to really look at addressing that line. It's getting a little old.
Yeah. Well, Bitonio Teller. Teller hasn't looked quite as dominant as the last few years. Last year, I thought he took a little step back. This year, I thought that was the strength. The interior with Posick, Bitonio, and Teller, and Jones. This is a big year for him. Left tackle. Can he stay healthy? It looks like he slimmed down. Can he stay healthy? And is he that left tackle? Conklin, loved the man, loved the player, but man, he's hurt all the time. So it probably end for him this year. We do have 2 first-round picks next year, so you can address that line pretty good. So
right.
So as far as the recaps, they are what they are. We're 0-2. Everybody, going into it, the schedule, and I should have had that up. We thought, I know we talked about this, before in the past. Just like every Browns fan, you get that schedule at the beginning and you start going through it. You're like, win. Next thing.
Steve, that's why I was so pissed off I was so mad on Monday because we should be 1-1 right now. And when you do the schedule game, I thought the first 5, like everybody does, thought it was a gauntlet, which it is. But we had a chance to steal one. And then, I think that the defense is playing good enough, and that's what's so frustrating. And you look at this, you do the schedule game, and now the schedule game changes too as the season goes on. Like Minnesota, you don't know what's going on now. Quarterback with JJ McCarthy, and so the ebbs and flows, you need to take advantage of it. And that's why I've just It's so frustrating because when you get to that new year and you just want to start off good and rattle off a couple wins right away, and then we don't, and it's frustrating.
Yeah. No, those first 5 or 6 games look pretty tough.
Yeah,
Things do lighten up, so I think there's some very winnable games. Like you said, though, you got to have it.
yeah,
My theory, I think most would agree, especially when it's a division game, you got to win the home games. And if you
right.
can take one on the road, great bonus. But you got to at least take care of business at home. And unfortunately, we didn't. We'll see. It's young.
Yeah,
Um, I guess the gleam is, if we crap the bed, then we're getting a really good draft pick, and hopefully there's that quarterback of the future or that blue chip prospect to add to this team.
sure.
So,
Yeah,
I think we're a little too used to that, though, huh?
yeah, too.
Drafts. I remember for a long time we'd talk, and after a while, I'm like, I don't know if I could renew this season ticket. We're spending money and we're not seeing anything. It was so frustrating. Like I said, we've been doing it since '07. So, but then every year it's like, well, wait, we got 2 draft picks. We
They
can turn
really,
everything
they
in one
really get
draft.
that in.
And then the Browns are geniuses because you have to commit, like,
Oh yeah,
by April 1st, you got to get that money in and commit. Draft's not until April, end of April. I always want to be like, well, wait, I want to see the draft and what we do first, and then I'll decide. But nope, you better commit or you lose. So, geniuses on their part.
yeah. Well, I've decided not to give up my tickets just for the fact is I don't want to quit. I
Yeah.
don't want to quit. I feel like I've come too far now to back out. I'm in it, man. In for a penny, in for a pound.
There you go. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the whole reason what did we say when we got season tickets? Our dream was we want to one day be there for a home playoff game.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and I will admit, as I get older, regardless what your feelings are, I'd love to have a dome. If it could have been downtown, it would have been great. But as of now, it doesn't look like it is. I'm okay with a dome.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm getting achy.
Right?
I get arthritis. I want to go into a 70-degree climate control, take my coat off, and be nice. And I don't want to freeze my butt off anymore.
Exactly.
I feel like the kid when some of the games we've gone to. I felt like the kid from Christmas Story, the brother, Ralphie's brother. I can't get my arms down. I bet all this stuff on. I'm a bigger guy. I'm sitting next to you. You're like, I got no room because you're taking up all this space with your 5 layers of clothes, and so I want to be warm.
Yeah, and it's. I feel like the cold weather doesn't benefit us. I mean, the Saints came in here a couple years ago and beat us when it was freaking freezing out.
I was gonna say
Well,
they lost.
The Raiders beat us in '81. The Saints beat us in 2022 or whatever. Like,
right? Nope, I'm with you right there. When a dome team comes into our field in
Yep.
December in a cold, snowy day, and they beat us, you lost the home.
yeah,
field
you have no home
advantage.
field anymore.
No,
So
and
make it comfortable for me and you.
right? At least we'll get something out of it, and
Right.
maybe this will create domes. That stadium. There's times I still think. John, let me ask you. Since we've been season ticket holders since '07, and I guess you could throw in if you ever. I know we've gone to games prior to that.
Right.
What was the loudest or best memory you've had at the game so far?
So far, it was when the night that Flacco took us to the playoffs.
Against the Jets, that Thursday night game.
Yep. That was electric. And probably followed by the Baker when he came and beat the Jets.
His first game when they pulled was it Taylor got hurt?
Yeah. He either got hurt. Yeah, I think he got hurt and they put Baker in.
And Baker went in and then they unlocked the fridges. But yeah, I'm with you. That Flacco, we were there before. We tailgated before. The energy was amazing. Even just before the game. But during that game, and that was the same game, if you remember, Nick Chubb walked out to break the guitar.
Right.
The crowd went nuts in the beginning of that game.
That was, yep.
Remember seeing Nick Chubb walking after that brutal Minka Fitzpatrick injury, the hit that he took. But that's been the most electric I've ever been in that place, ever seen. The emotions, coming down from that. And I want that again.
Yeah. I do remember the game. I think it was '07. It was our first year against the Giants. I think it was Monday night. And we beat them. I think it was Monday or Thursday night football. It was a great game. And that was electric. We thought that's how it was going to be. We got the tickets, and hey,
right. I told my wife at the time, our first year, that was with Derek Anderson.
Yeah.
We went 10-6. I'm like, see, it's because we got tickets. Look at it.
Yeah.
It's all because we're season ticket holders. And then the following year, what happened? We crapped the bed, missed the playoffs, high draft pick, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't us.
Nope.
Oh, that's classic. Well, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So enough about the recaps for
Yeah.
that. So it is what it is. We're 0-2. We're gonna try and do a little segment, and those that you see us live will get to see it. Those there on the podcast won't. But we're gonna have a little fun segment that we're gonna call therapy session. And what it basically is, it's either gonna be what we felt was the best or worst memes, pics, or videos of that week or something. So to have a little fun here, we popped out a couple, and well, I guess we'll start a little negative. This one first popped up.
Oh yeah, this guy on TV.
Yeah, the Browns fan at the Ravens game with the bag over his head. Really?
No,
Week 2? You guys doing that?
I heard somebody say this was a plant, that they planted this guy. I don't know.
Well, it very well could have. That was, again, remember, that was that game against Ravens. That was their whole, we're celebrating and honoring our 30 years anniversary of taking our team. So there's that Yahoo. You know, yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a reach there with that.
Especially week 2.
Right? This one hits home a little bit, especially for those if you watch that Monday night game.
This one breaks my heart.
Those that want to see the what coulda, shoulda been.
Picture of. Oh, go ahead, Steve. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You take it away, Johnny.
Picture of Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, and Nick Chubb together holding a Super Bowl trophy. It looks like a selfie.
Right? That's a heartbreaker. What could have been?
It sure is. What could have been?
Yeah. So there's that one, and then another one was that I kind of liked a little bit was, where'd it go? Oh, you got to bring this up. We've all seen the quarterback jersey with 40 names on it.
There you go.
They finally have started the kicker.
Holy shit! I didn't even see that.
So for those that on the podcast, so this one it was a Dawson, Browns Dawson jersey with his name on it, and it has Cundiff, Hartley, Coons, Murray, Parkey, Gonzalez, Joseph, Siebert, Parkey, McLaughlin, Nagger, which I don't remember Nagger, but okay. Cade York, Dustin Hopkins, Patterson, and now Schmidt. So
that's 15 kickers, Steve.
Thank God you counted. I didn't know where I was. But we're at 15 kickers, and that's unbelievable. Wow. And I remember I told you this before. I guess this is why I'm here doing a podcast with you and not on the sidelines or in the front office. I remember when Phil Dawson was first with us, and his first year, it seemed like he never could kick a kickoff into the end zone. I'm like, This guy's leg is it's terrible. He can't even kick the ball. And he turned out to be, next to Lou the Toe, probably our greatest kicker.
Well, and I heard him say that if they would have let him go after his first season, I mean, they should have, because his accuracy wasn't great.
Yeah,
that first year.
He did struggle.
Yeah,
but you know the one thing that Phil did. I remember him talking about this. He studied that stadium. Everything about it. And I don't know if the other kickers do it. I don't know. You would think some of these guys would have over time been like, I'm reaching out to Phil Dawson.
Keep him on retainer.
Yeah, and kind of getting off track here, but thinking about special teams, it's kind of funny because, and I have no statistics to back this up, but you think of a special teams coach and stuff. Right now we have Bubba Ventrone.
Yeah.
Because we struggle with kicking, and we're not the only. I mean, there are other teams that have some kicking. Have you ever seen a kicker that's special teams coach?
A kicker that is the special teams coach?
Yeah, like a former kicker that's now the special teams coach. I mean, I've always seen players.
I don't think so. I don't think
I've ever, off the top of my head, I can't think of someone. And there probably is. If anybody out there knows, feel free to shout it out to us. But I don't know. But I'm starting to think, dang, why don't we get a former kicker as our special teams? Because we struggle with
that. How about Phil Dawson?
Right? Even better. So,
what do you think about the Browns special team this year? What's going on? How do you feel about that?
I mean, the kicking issues. Yeah, a punt blocked. The missed field goals. Wasn't it in Baltimore? There was that return that he almost went to the house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so far I don't have very good feelings about that special team. How about you?
I kind of feel the same way. I was expecting more. I know last year was a tough year for Bubba. and this year seems like it hasn't gotten much better.
No, great player.
Oh yeah,
Bubba was a great football, especially special teams. That's where he made his niche. Just yeah, I don't get it. So I thought this one was kind of interesting. We finally got to see, you know, after the disappointment of the off season and the whole Junkins and the arrest and what's going to happen. Is he suspended? It was nice to see him on the field for week 2, although limited. But you
yeah.
know, this picture has his stats. So for that game against Baltimore, 10 carries, 61 yards, a 6.1 yards per carry, uh, 3 catches with 10 receiving yards. Not a bad start.
Yeah, that is a good debut for
Yeah, I
Quinshawn.
know he had the one, what was it, a 30, 31-yard carry later in the game,
Right,
but still, see him on the field, you see the potential. And
right. You do.
did you like that pick when we took him? Was
I did. I was him or Henderson for me.
yeah,
I liked them both. It was splitting hairs depending what you like.
right.
Um, I like Junkins. I like Henderson. I like both the backs. So yeah, I was happy with it. Would you like it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't Gente. I didn't think we were gonna. He was gonna go early, and I didn't think we were gonna take him with that first pick. I did like Hampton coming out of North Carolina, but again, he shot up the boards. Knew he was going first round. My thing was walk away with one of the Ohio State players, and
Yeah.
if you got one of them, I'd be pretty happy. And that's exactly what they did. The surprise I may have been, some people had Henderson ranked ahead of Junkins. We took him first. Um, I know early on people losing their minds in preseason. I think Henderson's first touch was that 100-yard kickoff return,
Right.
and then I think he scored another touchdown. Everybody's like, "Oh, great," but he hasn't done much so far. He's off to a little bit of a slow start, but
I feel
good
like
for
a
him.
lot of the rookie backs are
Yeah,
Hampton and
Gente's really
Genty.
struggled.
Hmm.
I know. I have him in my fantasy. Sour subject. I lost to you this week
Yep.
by a
By
half a point.
thank you, Genty.
Yeah,
We're not doing
and
anything.
he got me 1.5 points. So there's that. And then to end on a positive for this segment,
Yeah, we need some positivity.
we have to touch upon this. Both friends of him, I've met them several times tailgating, but this was back on opening weekend, was the Muni Lot
Yeah.
wedding with Brown Spider and First Lady
Right.
getting married. So there's the photo of them. It was down in the Muni Lot. A lot of friends of the show and Twitter were there. Again, we know Brown Spider. Tailgated with him a few times. Great guy. One of the biggest and best
Oh yeah.
Browns fans. First Lady, sweetheart. I thought the cool thing, which I didn't know until the ceremony, was Webster Slaughter. That's him on the picture on the right. He was
Really?
yeah, he was a part of the official. I think somehow him and it was the Batman, Browns Batman
Yeah, it looks like he's
people.
efficient.
I think they both were because Webster did speak too, said stuff.
Oh
So I
really?
thought that was
That's
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
So good for them. Great people. They met. Funny thing was, they both met. I remember them talking about it. Both big Browns fans. Brown Spider eventually goes to a lot of road games. In fact, that was pretty
I see
admirable.
him on TV a lot.
Yeah.
When
Oh
you're
yeah.
watching, they put him on.
Yep. And he's got his classic "Let's effing go." But no, great. I mean, this guy at the time single. He'd travel all these games by himself, but he'd make a trip out of it and do things. And First Lady was on a lot of those, and mutual friends, Dog for Life group on Twitter for those that follow. Um, Eventually they started hanging around more. One thing led to another, but there you go. I know it's all over the different sportscast news, and good for them. Good for
Yeah,
them. But there's our positivity.
I
So to
like
end
it.
on a high note, congrats again to Brown Spider and First Lady. Um, there's that. And John, well, we can. We're going to take a quick break here for our sponsors. So we will be right back. And welcome back to There's a Gleam podcast. We want to thank our sponsor, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They're based here out of Mechanicsburg, Ohio, and you can get them. You can go to their website, hemispherecoffeeroasters.com. Good local company, but we want to thank them for being a sponsor, and hope you'll try them out. John, you like coffee?
Love coffee.
I can't live without it. Might have to make a special trip. I've been online to their website, and they have a store there. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if they're in markets or not yet. I thought about making a trip. I love coffee. They got all kinds, of huge selection. So might have to go actually take a visit to that store, take a little trip. Um, all right, John, let's get down to business here. We're gonna
On
look
the
ahead
nitty
to.
gritty. We're talking football this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things. This is a home game, week 3. It's against the Packers. We're gonna look ahead to that game, and also since it is a home game, we have to talk a little tailgating.
All
So
right, of
for
course,
those
without question.
those that remember us or know us, back in the day, we had our tailgate group called the Muni Crew, kind of what would you call a spoof off of Motley.
Spin off on Motley Crue.
That was your
We have the
little.
two little dots like Motley Crue has.
That was your concept in creativity, which turned out to be huge. We had a lot of fun. Bought an RV. In fact, he eventually was named Jamal in honor of Jamal Lewis because he was on his last legs with us. We had a lot of good years out of that, a lot of good memories, and a lot of good times. So, um, you know, we're not X and O guys. We're not going to break down stuff, but talk about it a little bit, Johnny. What are you thinking for this game?
I think it's a tall task, but actually, I think this is a winnable game. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, but I think it's winnable. Both defenses are really good.
Yeah.
And I feel if the Browns could shut down the run and make Jordan Love throw the ball, I think we got a chance. I really do. But the turnovers, can't have them this week. And you got to create some turnovers.
Yeah, I agree. I saw some interesting stats on Fox Sports, I believe it was. So this, yeah, you, this could be a defensive battle. I
Mhm.
doubt it, but looking at some of the rankings, did you know that total defense, the Browns are ranked number 1 with 191.5 yards per game, which is pretty impressive.
That is.
Um,
Especially considering who they went up against.
Well, considering they gave up 41 points in the first game, but look at some of the they had the block punt and the big return. Surprising factor too, not really, because Green Bay had the huge trade to start the season with getting Micah Parsons, who, in my opinion, I think Myles Garrett's right now the best individual defensive player.
For sure.
Micah Parsons, I think, is a close second or third. I think he's phenomenal. But Green Bay was ranked number 3 at 238 yards per game. So, for total defense, you've got the number 1 and number 3 defenses going against each other. Granted, we're only going into week 3, so breaking that down a little bit more, Browns, they're number 3 against pass defense, giving up only 146 yards, and we're number 1 against the run defense at giving up 45.5 yards. So Mason Graham, you got to think the 2 young draft picks have shown some early dividends, paying off there with Mason Graham in the middle and Schlesinger. John, could you imagine what this team would look like with JOK?
Whew.
Yeah, that's
that would be nice. I don't know. I don't know if he'll come back. I don't know if you heard anything, Steve, about
he posted. Did you see that thing on Twitter? He posted this kind of cryptic message.
I saw something the other day.
Nobody really knows what it means. I don't either. So, I've heard everything that he's done. He'll never play again. He's going to be back. Let's hope for the best. First and foremost, health-wise, hope he's healthy.
Of course.
But, God, I hope he comes back because he's been a heck of a player for us.
He really has.
Well,
and without Martin Emerson too. And I know injuries are part of the game, but to start off the year without one of your top corners.
Yeah, that's disappointing because preseason, man, everybody was saying he was having a strong camp, looked like, maybe a rebound year. That
sucks for him because it's a contract year too.
Yeah, that's true. No, forget that. Sucks for me.
Right?
Forget them. Forget it. It sucks for me. Season ticket holder. Green Bay, real quick, their defense, they're overall ranked 10th against the pass, giving up 189.5 yards, and they're number 2 run defense, right behind us at only 48.5 yards a carry. So that, I don't know the sledding on the ground. You might not see a lot of rushing yards, but then again, every time you see numbers like that, what happens? Somebody goes off for 180 yards or something. So who knows? And then finally, offense, Green Bay, they're ranked number 12th.
Okay.
And we're surprised. This surprised me. We're actually ranked 16th.
That's stunning.
Right in the middle, right? I mean, some of it might be inflated. Flacco, I know that. Well, he did throw that first game for 290 yards or something. So, a little bit of surprise. We're 10th in the pass offense at 242, and we're the big one, and the reason why we're 26th in the rushing offense with 82 yards. Green Bay was 12th in passing offense at 228 yards, and they're 18th in rushing at 106. So there's that. We'll wait to the end of the show, or do you want to do your pick to win the game and a score, or you want to do that at the end, or
Let's do it at the end. Let's do it at the very end.
All right.
Way to sign off.
All right, and I think we're gonna have to do this each week. We're gonna call this the Jackson Jaguars.
Oh yeah.
Since
Okay.
we got that draft pick. So right now, for those of you who know or don't know, they're 1-1. This week they are at home against the Houston Texans, who had that tough loss against our old friend Baker in Tampa Bay. So they play the Texans at home this week, and they're 1-1. And as far as tailgate, I know we're going to be tailgating. We're trying to. So we used to tailgate all the time in the Muni lot, and we saw. There we go. Don't know how to do it, but I did see your comment, Kevin. Yeah, it is crazy.
What was this comment? I didn't see it. I don't.
Crazy.
Oh, it pops up on chat. Is that how it is?
Yeah. Bear with us, folks. It's our first one, so we're a little new.
Learning.
We'll get the hang of this eventually, and if we don't, so be it. But no, getting back, always fun. Highlight sometimes of the Sundays is tailgate. We used to be in the Muni lot for a long time. Then, quite honestly, we got too old. They weren't winning. I'm like, I ain't going out at 3-4 in the morning. So
that's a young man's game.
It really is. And our group got pretty big. Our tailgates would have, 50-plus people
Oh,
sometimes? Yeah. And two of the oldest guys were the first ones down there, which was kind of funny. But then we switched over to Burke for a while with some friends on a smaller scale, and that was fun.
Yeah.
It was nice because, Muni lot, for those that have been in there, you try and after a game, it's a war zone. I was horrified. I was going to get flats, something stuck in the tires. Or we did Burke, and I remember leaving. It looked like there was no tailgate whatsoever. You go right out.
Right.
Not the same vibe, but still great people over
right.
there.
Muni is its own beast.
Yeah. The Pit's not bad. I know there's a lot of Pit fans. We've done there. I've done there a few times. There's some great tailgating groups out there. Nats is over at the Pit.
Well, I think that's kind of what we've done the last couple of years. We've done a little more just meeting people, going around different locations, which has been really fun. I've enjoyed it. I don't know, Steve, this week, you think we'll get by the courthouse like we did last week?
I think let's be honest. Parking down there is ridiculous anymore. I mean, even the Muni lot's like $50 now. Everywhere's $60 or better. Unless you park way off somewhere, and I don't even know where. Street park. I know you used to try and snag street parking sometimes.
Yeah, but I think they did away with a lot of that.
It's far and few between. We decided, we bounced around for the last few years. We went to Top Dog Tailgate, Nats. We have some other friends in different places. We've bounced around to many different lots. The one we've kind of done this year, we did it before, is right off West 3rd and Lakeside, the courthouse there. There's that parking lot above ground there. It's easy to get in and out. And for those of you that are local that don't go, or, that tailgate and don't know about that, forget I said that, because I don't want to, we could get down there, roll down there about 8:30 and have plenty of spaces and, set up. So I think we're going to do that again this week. Got some friends joining us. And most importantly, food. What are we doing at tailgate?
Well, I guess we got to think about what are they eating? Wisconsin.
Well, that was our big thing. Well, that was our whole shtick when we had our tailgate group. Back with the Muni crew, we kind of based our menu off of who we were playing. I think one of my favorite, to go back, a little nostalgia there. And I don't remember either if it was a Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. Remember we played the Ravens and we did crab legs?
Oh yeah, that was a good night.
That was maybe one of our most epic tailgates ever. Crab legs everywhere in the Muni lot.
Crab cakes in football. That's what Maryland does.
What's Cleveland? Kielbasa in football? Pierogies in football?
Pierogies in football.
But yeah, we always did a theme. Texas. You play Texas, we got to do a barbecue. So in this case, it's Wisconsin. Top of my head, they're known for cheese. Cheese curds is huge. Although have you ever made cheese curds?
I've never had. I don't think I've ever even had them.
I know brats are classic, beer brats, cheese brats, whatever. So I'm kind of leaning
Probably
towards
brats. Sounds like
yeah.
a brat kind of day.
It's easy. It's relatively easy to do. So I definitely think we're gonna be throwing some brats on the grill. That's always a What's funny is when I thought back to some of our tailgates, you think some go basic burgers, hot dogs. I don't know if you did one time. You did the dogs. Remember when we were playing Chicago?
Oh yeah,
You did like Chicago style dogs, and then you also did like was it a Seattle or
the
Korean dog?
Seattle dog. Yeah,
You made a couple gourmet type dogs, but we've
yeah,
never gone like super basic. Hey, we got some burgers, and we've always jazzed it up a little bit. So,
right.
yeah, I think Courthouse. If you're around, and you
Yeah,
see us, always welcome to join us. We always got a beer for you and or water if that's your thing. And if you want some food, talk some Browns, have some fun before the game. But I think we're gonna go there again.
that's a good. I think to me, it's kind of a good spot too. If people want to, or if they're walking to the game, it's kind of on the way. If you're on that west side,
Yep.
you could just pop right in.
It's easy. The
Yeah,
best the best things the Browns have done since I've been a season ticket holder is that express entry where all you gotta do is scan your eyes. You don't
yeah,
have to remember we'd get our ticket and it was on your phone and the internet's not working. The internet around that stadium was terrible at times and like I can't load it, I can't get my ticket.
yeah.
I love it. We walk up there now and
Just
you
walk right
scan
through.
your eyes and bam, we're through in no time. That is phenomenal. But I agree with you. Muni lot, love the atmosphere. A little bit of a hike. I'm a bigger guy, so you know, it, you know, sobers you up a little bit, I guess. I love the walk. We're literally right across the West Third Bridge. Pop around the corner, straight across that bridge, and we're at the stadium. So I do like it. Again, tailgate is what you make at it and who you're with. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah, I think that's fun. We want to do a segment. As we go, John and I are both foodies. We both like food, love food, love to cook stuff and tailgate and, watch football games. It's always what food are we going to do with it. So we want to do a segment here. We're going to call it the land segment, and it's going to be, something about local, either local bars, restaurants, whether it's tailgate related or just places you go to that you really enjoy. John, is there a shout out you want to do?
Not really shout out, but just kind of add to that. Yeah, I think there's things that we can tell people about if they haven't been to a game before and they're going down for the first time. If they want to grab a bite to eat, where to go, where the game day specials are, where to tailgate, things like that. I think we did the tailgating website a long time ago, and it was fun. Yep, Lot Zoo. We had a great time with that. So I think just the tailgating aspect a little bit. Cleveland's really big on tailgating. So I think it's something that we just kind of either tailgating or table gating, whatever you want to, whatever your preference is. We'll help people out along the way with that stuff.
Man, we were ahead of our time,
We
my
were ahead
friend.
of our time.
Your Lot Zoo about tailgating website was genius. You started that back in 2008 or nine. Uh, we talked about podcasts and doing shows and doing live things. Never did, and the explosion on, social media with all. I mean, there's 10,000 Browns podcasts and podcasts in general out there. So we're
Right.
finally a little late to the game. But yeah, if we would have done this years ago, who knows, right? What would have happened?
We'd be
Oh,
we'd be sitting next to Nathan Zagura.
right? Talk about from like the Jeffersons moving up. I mean, remember him? He would do all the fantasy stuff. You hear him
Oh
on like
yeah.
the sports shows, and just throw out these crazy stats. I'm like, how do you know this stuff? Joe Flacco is 70% passer when it's third down and less. All these just ridiculous. And now he's play by play. Well, no, not play by a color analyst or
Oh,
whatever you
yeah.
call for the radio. So maybe
But
one
yeah,
day,
talk about a guy that knows his shit.
right?
Nathan Zagura knows his
Did you
shit.
have you ever seen? I've seen pictures when he's at that booth. He's got like this big, huge laminate sheet of
Oh
like
really? No.
players, of all the players, and he's just got in marker 5,000 things scribbled all over this sheet. I'm like, holy cow! Like stat stuff, this and that, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's impressive. So
And he is impressive. From where he came from doing the fantasy football stuff. I remember listening to him on the radio. Like he had like that. It was like a Thursday or Friday segment.
uh-huh.
Tell who to play for the week and to where he is now, he deserves it.
Yep.
I mean, without question, the guy knows his stuff.
He really does. So to finish off the little segment about the land segment, I'm going to give a shout out since we were talking about tailgating this week and, what we were thinking about doing. Probably my favorite place in Cleveland has been for since I can remember is the West Side Market. Love
Oh,
that
nice.
place. Love that place. It's kind of I know they're starting to do stuff. There's all the the renovations that they're going to be doing. It's a little sad now. It's not what it used to be, especially the
Right.
outdoor area. With the fruits and veggies. There's maybe half the vendors that used to be. The inside's still thriving. They're pretty much booked up, but love the West Side Market. You know, those
Especially if you want to get those fresh brats like you're talking about for this
you're
Sunday.
stealing my thunder here.
All right, let you go.
No, but that's a shout out I'm going to give talking about local West Side Market, one of Cleveland's true treasures. It's my favorite destination other than Browns Stadium. I love the West Side Market. One of my favorite vendors specifically. I have a ton. You know me. I talk to
Right.
everybody. You're a get in, get
I
out
just
kind
go
of
and
guy.
shop, and you're still talking.
I'm talking. Oh yeah, where you from? But it pays off because usually they hook me up with stuff. So
Yeah.
and then they're good people. I enjoy talking to people. So one of my favorites, especially for sausage, is, and I'll butcher the name. Chukarai
Keep trying.
sausage. Love them. They have,
Yep.
in my opinion, there's several great vendors, but Chukarai for me, I love their kielbasa. They have smoked, regular beef, turkey, brats. They have so many different types of sausages. In fact, that's where I'm going to grab ours for the game
Mhm.
this week. I'm going to go there. And while you're there at the market, if you want to grab, there's a handful of good places to eat, but you'd be remiss not to mention Frank's Bratwurst.
Yep.
So
Frank's. Yeah.
had many of those while I'm shopping. Be like, well, I got to grab something. And my other classic favorite there is Johnny Hot Dog.
Johnny Hot Dog.
Both really good. Steve's Gyro's another one I love. But yeah, Frank's Bratwurst, great brats.
Johnny Hot Dogs. They've sold more hot dogs than Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's combined.
Really?
Yeah, because they don't sell hot dogs, Steve.
That's why he's the best color analyst in the world, folks. Or what's the Bob Uecker one from Major League? I knew where you were going with it, though.
No, that's a good one, Steve. The West Side Market, though. That's
Yeah,
definitely
like that. If
classic.
you're looking, like I said, there's so many, and I feel bad for not shouting out more places. But Chukarai is one of my personal favorites. The owners of it, longtime owners, recently sold it. Jan and her husband, they decided to sell. I don't know if they moved down to Florida. Again, this is me talking to people.
See, definitely you talk to more people than I do.
Well, they had condos down in Panama City Beach, and they're going to hook me up with a vacation place. I mean, I was going to pay something, but probably a good price. So I know they have several places down there. I think they were going to possibly retire. But the cool thing was they ended up selling that Chukarai to the workers.
Oh, they did.
So, yeah, longtime workers have been there. They are now the owners. I don't know all the fellas' names and stuff, but they sold it in-house to the workers, and they now are officially the owners. So
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that story.
talk to people every now and then. See what you learn, my friend. We have another segment. Again, we're called There's a Gleam. We want to try and stay positive.
Yep.
This could be challenging this year. I ain't going to lie. And for those of you who want to say, if you're not with the Browns, get off. Well, you be a fan for 40-plus years and see where you're at the toll. But we're positive. We're going to try and stay positive as much as we can. We're going to call this little segment There's a Gleam segment. Something positive or gives us hope for the Browns for this upcoming week. Could be anything, or if you want to go personal about something else, what you got for us?
What's
John?
else? What's yours? What's your there's a gleam for the Browns?
Well, I'm going to go with, since we kind of brought him up before, I got a couple gleams. For the Browns, it's right now the Browns have the number one versus the run after the first two weeks of the season, and like I said, we got two rookies playing key roles. So for me, that's a positive. This defense is a positive for me, and I think my other gleam, and I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, is I think we're going to see a more of Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, my gleam, it kind of ties in with that. is the rookies on offense right now, because our offense needs some work. But I like when Dylan Gabriel came in the game, what he did. I know it was end of the game type situation. However, hitting Samson on that pass play in the end zone, it's a beautiful throw. So I feel good about Dylan Gabriel. Harold Fannin Jr.
Love that.
The guy's been playing great. They're lining him up on different locations on the line. So I really like that. And then to your point, Quinshon Judkins, he adds another, I guess, dynamic to the run game. A little more powerful, kind of like in that Kareem Hunt, but I think more speed than Kareem Hunt had too.
Yeah.
So to me, for me, it's the offensive players, the rookies that we have.
Yep. I agree. Well said. The other thing is for us older fans to see that they're gonna honor the Browns team from, was it 85 then?
85.
Okay. That's gonna be kind of fun to see. Clay Matthews, does that man age at all?
No.
I've seen pictures. That guy, he looks phenomenal still.
He looks really good, yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be kind of fun to see that.
I want to see who else is going to be down there. Well,
Yeah.
who they bring in, like Hanford, Minnie,
There's
Bernie.
a lot of local guys still around. So
There are Metcalf.
Yep. Langhorn's still around here. Webster, I don't know if Webster lives here. Obviously, he was here a couple weeks ago for the wedding. In fact, I remember as a kid being out at the Westgate. Remember Westgate Mall there? And was that Rocky River or Fairview?
Oh yeah.
I remember going in there one time. I was in the mall, 2 different occasions, but this one time, and I forget the store. It was a music store. It wasn't like where you buy records. I think it was almost like a Radio Shack or something with music. I go in, I see this guy. I see 2 guys, and the one guy's got like this big furry coat on. It's Webster Slaughter and Eric Metcalf. I'm like, holy crap. And of course, at that time, I don't know. What was I, teenager?
Was it 20 or 1990? Was it 98?
I think about 16. I was driving, so I had to be about 17 or 18, something like that, somewhere around there. So I had to been like late 80s, 16, 17. And yeah, I remember seeing him. I remember being a kid. Mr. Slaughter, Mr. Now I say that like if you see Quinshon Judkins, I don't think I'm gonna be like Mr. Judkins. I'm twice your age almost, probably. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, no, saw them, and I remember another time. What's that?
As I say, those guys were larger than life too, as teenagers growing up in Cleveland.
And you used to always see them around, especially on the west side. I know a lot of players live out on that west side, Lakewood, or not Lakewood, Westlake, Rocky River, and stuff. So I know they had a big presence back in the day.
Strongsville too, back in the day. I don't know how much anymore.
Yeah, well, Strongsville. Anytime somebody's reported to come here, you already they're buying a house in Strongsville. So you got that right. Oh, that's that is true. So, but as far as closing comments, well, we got to do our pick. We haven't done our pick for this week, so John, I'm gonna let you as the with your pick here.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think this is a game that the Browns could steal, and I'm looking at the Browns winning 17-14. And a Zamit field goal to win the game at the end with no time left. I'll take that.
The Browns? Schmidt's going to come through and kick a field goal late?
To win the game, yep.
From your lips to God's ears, my friend.
What about you?
After what do you think? The stats I rattled out about our defense, you think I'd be kind of same. So I can go one of 2 ways. I could keep it real and go with what I honestly think is going to happen, or I could be Mr. Positive, like our good friend Lou over at Burning River Browns Talk. But you know what? Green Bay, they look really good. Until we change some things, I hate to say it. I know I did see they're 7.5-point favorites, Green Bay. I'm going different. I'm going to go 31-17. I'm going to go Green Bay.
I mean, I can see that happening too.
And the reason why I am, after seeing all the defensive stats and how good we are, I think it's going to be one of the games where it's going to be, holy crap, more points scored or stuff. So, I hope you're right, though. I'm going to go with you. I hope and pray you're the right one.
I hope you're wrong.
Yeah, me too. Well, guys, we want to thank you for joining us. Before I forget, You can follow me on X or Twitter, whatever I'm going to call Steve Hemrich at Hemi44 or at Hemi44. John, what's yours?
I get there's a gleam. So
You're John R at Get the Gleam.
all right, I'll put it up there. I'm not sure. I had a TikTok. I had a TikTok that I was doing some brown stuff with. There's a gleam. But I don't know with I've kind of dropped off the TikTok thing, so I think I'm transitioning over to Twitter or X now.
Okay.
So I'll get all that for the next one.
Perfect. But want to thank you all for tuning into the show. Like I said earlier, if you didn't like the show, give it another week. All right, and remember to like and subscribe here with the Fanatical Elves and Fans First Sports Network. Again, want to thank everybody for joining us, and this is hopefully going to be a weekly show, Wednesdays. We're doing live Wednesdays at around noon, and we'll see where we go from there. So, again, thank you for joining us. Hope you guys have a great week, and go Browns.
Go Brownies.